What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So I'm going to have to agree with Dreamcast guy. I know, blasphemy. Oh my gosh. He never says anything that's proper or correct or factual. Just like the illogician, Reforged Gaming. But I will agree with Dreamcast in just the verbiage. And this is it. Xbox is dead. Now, let me explain before y'all be like, oh my gosh, he's a pony bot. He flipped him and he's one of them. Nah, no. First of all, never will I be a pony. Second of all, never will I buy a Sony product, let alone a console, day one at full price. Never. Every Sony console that I have owned has been thrift shop. So the PS1, $20. It's like a brand new. I should show picture. I should do a video of the consoles I got. The PS1, thrift shop, $20. PS2, garage sale, $20 with Guitar Hero, I think was in the thing, or Gex or something. I can't remember. No, Gex was in the PS1. Anyway, PS3, I think it was $20 too, maybe 40. No, that was 20 because there was something wrong with the power button. It was like, it was touchy. It was like, it worked, but it was like, So I gave that to somebody, so I don't have the PS3 anymore. And I don't have a PS4, and I don't have a PS5. Now, currently, I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace. I'm looking at the prices. Some people are like $50, $40, $20 for parts, $100, $160. I went to the thrift shop. This lady was like $160. I'm like, yeah, I put it right back down. I was like, I ain't paying $160 for PlayStation 4. No, thank you. So, back to the actual Xbox is dead, right? Now, Dreamcast guy says that just because it gives him views and likes and whatever, gives him traffic. And I think Dirt and Sean did a similar experiment, or I think no, it was Ray did an experiment where he labeled it like some negative Xbox, and he got a bunch of views. So I was like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna do that to this video just for forewarning. But what I'm saying, Xbox is dead. That sentiment is true, but of course it's from a certain point of view. Return of the Jedi. But so the way that I'm positing it is that the way that Xbox used to be, like a traditional console, like, oh, we're gonna sell a console so we can sell games, lose money on a console, make it up on the games, blah 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 blah. All of that, done, dead, done. It's done. They're not doing that no more. They're not gonna lose money on consoles anymore, and they're gonna make money on games. Obviously, they want to make more money on games than they actually were before. And so when I say Xbox is dead, it's not the brand or no more consoles. It's not that. It's how they used to be. Their culture used to be that. It is no longer that. It's dead. It is a new culture, which is based off of, honestly, I mean, it's always been based off of profits, but they were like, yeah, we need more profits because we got it. We coming up on a $5 trillion company. That's what's up. So in that respect, Xbox is dead, but you know, that's for the grifters out there to say, oh my God, this person said his Xbox is dead, and that's why, and blah blah, we told you, blah blah blah, and Puerto Rock and all them knuckleheads to go out there and try to position Xbox as the underdog or like the giant behemoth that's bullying the industry. So you gotta feel sorry for Sony. It's kind of like what the last video was about with the dude, whatever his name, Thomas Mahler. Like, oh, if you don't buy our games, we're not gonna exist anymore. And I'm like, you should probably just make a good game. And I'm not saying they're not making a good game. I'm just saying. And you should probably put it on as many places as possible because, historically speaking, every game on the top 10, let's just say, there are very few exclusives up there. It's always Fortnite, Call of Duty. I mean, I say this every episode, but just look at the top 10 every week. Look at the top 5 every week. There are no exclusives there. They're all, even Forza Horizon 5. I mean, it might be like top of Xbox because it's like exclusive when it came out, exclusive there, sure. But when you look at all of them and you see all of the same games, yeah, like, okay, well, maybe we should put our game everywhere so that we can get maximum impact of, sales, more people see it, more people have access to it, possibility, potentially more sales. It's not rocket science. It's easy, but they're sitting there trying to, I was gonna say embezzle. They're trying to get money out of Microsoft. Just say that. Say we're a small company. We can't afford to do them all at the same time. I'm sorry, I'm retreading on last week's stuff. But to close out the Xbox is dead rhetoric, yeah, it's just a shift in their philosophy or their methodology and business strategies. And with that change is a change in what Xbox is and how it operates and how it is perceived from or by the public, by us. But the bottom line is still the bottom line on both sides, right? So the bottom line for them, they need to make money on the products they produce. The bottom line for us is we get in them games. Here's another difference, though, that is good. That the old Xbox is dead and this new Xbox has risen from the ashes of the old Xbox's ashes, the new Phoenix. We are getting so many games on Xbox from Xbox that it's the best problem to have as a gamer, even as a content creator. If you are an Xbox content creator and all you do is play Xbox games, you are going to grow your channel. You're going to make that money because you got so many games to play. Even if you just have Game Pass, that's cool, right? But they have all these other new games coming out, new bangers. That's going to be, I mean, all you need is one banger to jump off, and people, look, man. And I'm looking over at the tumbleweed PlayStation side. No, TBH called it the Black Hat Kogi. He called it. He keeps cracking on the PlayStation 4 dudes because it's like, y'all don't buy games. Oh yeah, that's right, y'all buy Xbox games and PlayStation 5 dudes. And he called it an X Station at one point, and I was like, he's kind of right. And like dudes like Tim Dog and whomever else, they get upset about that. Oh, blah blah blah, and start crying about, oh, don't call it an X Station, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm like, look, there is room for you to cry, but you will definitely get drowned out by all the noise because what you're saying, all the like the negative stuff that you're saying, is not truly impactful for the greater industry or to impact Microsoft in any negative way because you're a little small dude. Used to be I guess a predominant Xbox figure, personality, but you fell off in a not so glamorous way, and people look at you as a joke now. And a lot of these ponies and donkey unicorns are looked at as jokes because they are donkey unicorns or ponies. They're kind of dumb. I was going to say stupid, but that may be a little too harsh. They're dumb. Reforge he is constantly being like, I watched, I think it was Ono's Alex was watching Asmongold react to one of Reforge's, whatever. And he's like, who is this? Who the heck is this guy? Who the F is this guy? And he was just like, wow. I mean, I'm looking at Asmongold, and Asmongold, look, you can say what you want about him. He speaks his mind. He didn't play no games. He's just like, yo, this is what, I got roaches. I don't care. I hired somebody to clean up my room. It's clean now. Or my house. It's clean now, but whatever. He don't care. He's like, it doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter. He's like, he has made his popularity or his money from just being him and having, I guess intellectual or intelligent points of view. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but he's not a grifter, if you want to be real. He's just him. And some of the things I disagree with him, some of the things I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I get it. Yep. I haven't watched them in a while, so it's been a minute. But I tend to, certain people in the industry, you look at and you say, okay, I value their opinion. Let's see what they got to say. Whether you agree with them or not, still there's a certain level of intelligence and griftation. That's not a word. If the person is honest and genuine, then you're more inclined to listen to give them a listen. Let's just say that. But if you know they're a grifter, it's like you want to waste some of your time. You want to waste minutes out of your life listening to nonsense. Go ahead. I mean, if that's entertainment for you, sure. I can see if Dreamcast guy was actually entertaining and funny and like charismatic and stuff. I mean, the new teeth didn't help. He thought he might help. He made like smile a little bit. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. New teeth don't make a new personality. So you need to be a little funny to begin with. A little, little adobo on your chicken, if you know what I'm saying. But he ain't no flavor. He's like, if I look. I could talk to somebody like him, not him, but someone like him on nerd stuff. Like, oh, yo, Star Wars, yeah, that was cool. I see you later. But you can't like talk jokes. You can't be like, yo, you see that? Because he's like, I don't know if he's really corny or, hello, gamers, this is Dick guy. It's just, yeah. So, the grift is real. Him, and then, what's his name? The Illogician. The Illogician is his new name because he is illogical. He is not logical. So the Illogician is definitely on the list. I'm making a mental list, and eventually I will do I'm going to try to do a top 10. There's definitely a top 5 of Donkey Unicorns. In the Donkey Unicorns, I'm starting to revise that definition a little bit. I used to say that it was just basically idiot fanboys who don't just spout, nonsense and aren't smart. But now I'm including the grifters. So Dreamcast guy, Reforged Gaming, who else? Off the top, I can't really think. I'm not gonna say J-Dub because I know he's a troll. He knows he's a troll, and so he's a fan. Yes, he's a fanboy. Sure, he's a pony. Of course, Donkey Unicorn. No, he knows what he's doing. Just like Zaire, he knows what he's doing. So I don't consider them Donkey Unicorns only because they're playing a game, and it is for their channels and it is for their audience. But it's all good. It's part of the game, so it's all good. But me, I don't do that. Y'all know why I don't like Sony. I'm not gonna say it again. Maybe one day I'll do a biopic. Like, when I was a little boy, I used to have a Sega Master System. Anyway, so yeah, I'm always just like be me, if that makes sense. Like, why would I grift? Honestly, for me, in my mind, it takes too much energy to be fake. So it's so much easier to be honest than just to be real. For real. It just is. And so I prefer to do that and just keep it going, keep it moving. And like I said, like I'm looking at the future at all these companies. Nintendo is stumbling out the gate. I mean, they have their sales, but once again, they have a history of botching the numbers, giving fake numbers, putting a bunch of consoles in warehouses and counting them as sold. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of similar to what Sony's doing, to be honest. Funny how these two Japanese corporations are doing the same thing. But anyway, I mean, if that's the case, Microsoft could go, oh, well, we have, 100 million server blades that we put. Okay, that's too many. We have 20 million server blade. That's too many too. How many blades? I mean, I think one Xbox Series X blade is equivalent to 4 Series S's or something like. I forgot what the math was on that. But I'd have to do some research on to see how many actual blades of Xboxes they have. Include that number in sales and see what the number is. Because, I mean, they're being utilized. They're not, they're part of the cloud infrastructure. And that's going to change in the future with the next generation. They'll probably still maintain those, but they'll add some additional, the new SDK or UDK, whatever they're calling it, or GDK. I think it's the GDK, and they'll I don't want to say it's going to be more of a PC GDK, but it's definitely going to be different because it's going to accommodate whatever they're doing, whatever the new kind of way that they're going to make games. But yeah, I mean, Microsoft could do something crazy like that. So, oh yeah, we manufactured this many Xbox chips, so this is how many consoles we sold in. Whatever. They could say shipped. This is how many consoles we shipped to our server farms. But just leave that "to our server farms" part out, and then we'll see how many. They probably have, if not the same, more than PlayStation. I'd say the same. Closer to the same. Anyway, with all of that said, Xbox is not dead because they've arisen from the ashes of the old Xbox way of thinking. And this new Xbox this Phoenix is looking nice. Yo, if not anything, just the amount, the cadence of games that they're going to be coming out with within for the rest of this generation into the next generation, because all the games that they have announced, that's not all this gen, because some of them will be next gen, for real. And so I'm like, look, I'm good for the rest of this gen and next gen. I have a reason to buy a new Xbox. The next Xbox, I have a reason, without even knowing the price, I have a reason, because they have a plethora of games that are just chilling, waiting. They're just like, yo, we got games. I'm like, yes, you do. And Steam, come on, son. Why are you making it so difficult for me not to buy? I want to buy it. Did I say that right? Why are you making it so difficult for me not to buy? It made sense in some alternate dimension, but yes, they're making it difficult for me to not buy that console. I said it right, because it's like, yo, I don't even know what it looks like. I have confidence in their design philosophy, because they have never. The first Xbox was the ugliest Xbox. Every other Xbox from then on has been. I would argue that the 360 was the most beautiful Xbox, even though red ring and all that. It was still the most beautiful. I would hope that. I would hope they would go back to a similar design aesthetic as the 360, like a little bit of round edges, a little, give it a little bit of a kind of a, like an Aliens, like the inside of the Nostromo, where everything's white and everybody got white clothes on, and everything's like smooth and white and stuff. I'm like, oh, I like that. I kind of like that. That's a good aesthetic. I like that. I still like that aesthetic. It's kind of like a futurist aesthetic from the 70s. I'm gonna say, probably 70s, early 80s, but more 70s. But they've never made an ugly console, like I said, except for the original Xbox, which isn't ugly. I mean, in comparison to the rest, it is the ugliest, but it's not ugly. PlayStation has had a bunch of ugly consoles. The PlayStation 4 was the original PlayStation 4 with the slant. That was the best looking PlayStation console, period. Fight me on that. Let me see. Let me know in the comments below what is the best looking PlayStation console. I'm gonna say, okay, let's go. Let's see which one. For Xbox, I'm gonna say 360 is the best looking console. Let's rank them. 360 is the best looking console. Then I'm gonna say Series S and X. I like the Series S. It's real cute and small. And then the Xbox One X, and then One S, and then OG Xbox One, and then the Xbox. That's the order. PlayStation. Let's see. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3. Okay. The ugliest one, I'm going to say the PlayStation 3. Second ugliest is the PlayStation 1, the original PlayStation, and the PS1. Though, like, when they redid it and it was real tiny, it was super ugly. I was like, that's even uglier than the original. Original wasn't horrible ugly, but it was like, whatever. And then I'm going to say PS5. and then the PS2 is the best looking one. I would say not the, well, I mean, because they had, what did they have? Two. They had the PS2 Fat and then the PS2 Slim. I have the Slim. I mean, the PS2 Fat is just real chunky. It's a chonker, but I don't think it's ugly. It's a kind of cool design. So that's what I'll say. So what did I say? PS3, PS1, PS5, PS2. Wait, I thought there were more consoles than just 4. Did I do? I didn't include the hand. Wait, we're on PS5. So how did I miss PS? I said PS3, right? Wait, let's do it again. PS3, PS1. I skipped the PS4 is number 1. That's right. Okay, so yeah, it's 5. Duh. Anyway, all right. What else? Nintendo. Let's go through Nintendo. Nintendo's ugliest console is the N64. Wait, because like the SNES was kind of it wasn't the best looking. And when they did the revision, that was kind of ugly too. I'm gonna say the SNES was uglier than the N64. So SNES was the ugliest. N64. We're just doing home consoles. N64. Then let's see, the Wii U. I'm gonna put those Wii U. Wait. I mean, and the Wii, they weren't that special. So do I count those as So I guess the Switch is the best looking console. Okay, let's do it from top to bottom. So best looking console: Switch, NES, first one, GameCube, and then you have, I'll say N64, Super Nintendo, then the Wii U, because they have 7 console generations, right? Is that right? I think so. So I need to do a more in-depth with pictures and stuff. Maybe I'll do a video about that. Maybe if I get my studio up and running the way I need it. But anyway, I've been jabbering on along. That's a pretty good list. I'm gonna go back. That's a good video. I think I want to do that. That's cool. And we can go through like all the freaking generations. The Atari 2600, the 7800. I don't even know what the 7800 looks. They all kind of look the same. They all blend in together. There's only one ColecoVision, so whatever. And what else? Sega. We go Sega Master System, Genesis, Saturn, Dreamcast. Right. So I'm gonna say Dreamcast is the best looking. Then Dreamcast. I mean, Sega didn't really make an ugly console, but I'm gonna say Sega, Dreamcast. Then the Sega Master System was a good looking console, but it wasn't. It was really empty. It wasn't too much to it. Saturn, Genesis. Oh yeah, I think the Genesis might be one of their uglier consoles. To be real, I mean, it was one of the better consoles because it had so much, like the little volume slide with the stereo. Just that alone was like, yo, man, this is like way better than freaking anything. And then they took it out of the Model 2. I was like, y'all. That's why I like, whenever I see like an old Sega Genesis Model 1 in like a thrift shop, I'm like, how much you want for that? $10? Let's go. I'll scoop it up real quick. I have one. I have one Model 1 and I have one Model 2. Model 2 sucks. I hate the Model 2. I hate it because it's smaller and uglier, and it doesn't have the stereo jack. So I'm always looking for some new Model 1, But anyway, I appreciate you hanging out, Joe. Man, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think was the best looking consoles of all the different generations? I'm gonna name this video "Xbox is Dead," but also maybe I'll make a nice long title, and which is the best looking consoles in each generation below, or something like that. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what was your kind of history, or Or like, you know, Sega. What's the Sega one? Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. What was the best looking consoles? We can do handhelds later. We'll do that later. But yeah, I'm interested in that type of stuff. TurboGrafx, hello. They only made one, but you know, it's still a little quirky console. But anyway, I appreciate. I'll talk to y'all next one. Wait.